Just when you thought Spurs couldn't be more like Spurs, they go and do this. Tottenham Hotspur have gone out of European competition. They've gone out of the Europa League to a team whose manager is literally in jail right now. It, man, it's only Spurs. Surely this is a new low. How bad can it actually get from this point onwards? Like, I see Spurs, right? And at the start of the season, I was like, calm. There's a bit about them. They've got Gareth Bale back. It's the feel-good factor. The form was good at one point. We all should have known. And I actually don't know what to say. If you're a Spurs fan, I don't know how you're feeling. The man had to put together his starting 11 via a guest phone call. Yes, if you could go for a 4-2-3-1. He's dashing out the trap phone to make tactical adjustments. No one should be asking their team to drop back further defensively via a Nokia flip phone. Tottenham Hotspur are out of European competition. They're out of the Europa League at the round of 16 phase. They've gone out. They've been knocked out by Croatian champions Dinamo Zagreb. I assume they're the champions of Croatia. That's probably how they got there. I don't watch the Croatian league on a week-to-week basis. I won't lie to you. Hajduk Split versus Slaven Belupo. Look, watching that is not high on my agenda. It's not on the to-do list right now. I'm not opening up Total Sportec and illegally streaming. I mean, going on to BT Sport and expecting to see that football match. But what I do know is that really and truly in any normal situation, Tottenham should be beating them and should be advancing to the quarterfinals, especially with a 2-goal lead, a 2-0 lead. But this isn't a normal situation. This is a situation that should have helped them even more, for crying out loud. Now, if you don't know the story already, I did mention it briefly in FTW before it became this much of a big thing. But Dinamo's manager, Zoran Mamic, had to resign at the start of the week because he was sentenced to 4 years in jail. Embezzlement, money laundering issue or something, allegedly. I mean, it's not alleged anymore. He's actually been sent down for it. The FNG channel legal department can watch on absolutely fine. Don't worry, I'm not getting sued just yet. Probably will at some stage. The long and short of it, though, is that the guy's actually in jail. I cannot stress this enough. This man has been arrested, jailed, imprisoned, incarcerated, taken into custody. He's got at least 4 stars on GTA, helicopters and that. We've got live images here of him trying to get back for the training session on the Friday. Tottenham might be going out of the Europa League, but this man's going nowhere, okay? He's locked down. He's going to the canteen tomorrow morning. That's where he's going. In fairness, his cellmates gonna be gassed for him. They were watching on the TV. Who am I kidding? They probably weren't. They're still using VHS tapes in Croatian jail. I'm telling you now. Broadband hasn't actually been invented in the jail that he's in right now. It's crazy. But if they do know what's gone down, he's probably already been hired as the prison team's manager, realistically. And he's on like day 6 of even being there. I just can't quite fathom this. Spurs, ideally, needed Gareth Bale to perform during that game. Dinamo Zagreb's manager just needed Bale, generally speaking. He needed to get out of prison, fam. But what I will say is, the Dinamo Zagreb team, in his absence, played very, very well under the leadership of their caretaker. I didn't see the first leg, I'm going to be honest with you, but from punditry, I heard that Spurs kind of dominated the first leg. It could have been more than 2-0. But look, regardless of that, I'm not here to violate Spurs. That's a lie. I'm solely here to violate Spurs. Dinamo played well, all right? Now, even, obviously, the star man here was Mislav Orzic, who scored a hat-trick, and I think, realistically, he is a cult hero. Whatever he does from now on at that club, whether he leaves, whether he finds a team elsewhere, because really and truly, he's put himself massively in the shop window. I mean, some of the goals as well were outstanding. The second goal was a pretty easy one, but the first took ability. The third was outstanding. Skipping past a couple of Tottenham players, then blasting one in the bottom corner. He's in folklore now. Dinamo Zagreb just completed a 3-goal comeback on Spurs and knocked them out of the Europa League to get into the quarterfinals. But it wasn't just him. They got some young players who are really, really solid. And the goalkeeper as well, Dominik Livakovic, with some vital saves towards the end to deny Harry Kane and Gareth Bale. Their centre-back as well, Theophile Catherine, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but that guy, Kev. I know his first name's Kev. shouts out to you. Stellar drinker, Carling massive. He cuts about with a white vest that's got a suspicious stain on it, and he talks about how he doesn't like foreigners. They were outstanding. They seem to want it more. I know that's a cliche, but generally in terms of like mentality, but also physically as well. I was watching extra time. Spurs look knackered. They look done out. Completely done out physically and in terms of just energy levels by the time we were getting into the half an hour of extra time, whereas Dinamo seemed to just be running more. And I guess then part of that comes down to, are the players really playing for José Mourinho as well? Because a lot of people are suggesting this could be it. This could be him done as Spurs manager. You know, this is the usual capitulation and explosion that happens. Yeah, I can kind of vibe with that. It did look like just more of a stamina issue, but equally, when you're really invested in the philosophy that the manager's putting forward and what they're doing, you'll give everything, and that just looked like a really tired team. I'm not saying he's lost the dressing room, don't get me wrong. It's a little bit early for that sort of situation. They've been in relative poor form, but they played well against Burnley, played well against Crystal Palace in the league, then played well obviously in the first leg of this tie. They just seemed really out of sorts, and really, there was just a lack of motivation. As for Jose himself, the guy in the other dugout's been done for embezzlement, and he was still the most fraudulent manager involved in this game. They've got the wrong Don. If I'm a Spurs fan, I'm getting the gang together, I'm taking this man, I'm driving Jose to whatever wing this Dinamo Zagreb manager's at and locking him up as well. Mourinho himself was damning in an interview afterwards, talking about the effort and the mentality going into the game.
We are fucking dog shit, I swear down.
Meanwhile, Zagreb's manager did his own version. Yeah, so realistically, I'm really hoping this result can start to raise the bar. And by that, I mean the bar's in my prison cell. I want to get the f*** out of it. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse as a Tottenham fan, Joe Hart, backup goalkeeper at Spurs, accidentally posted on his Instagram story, thinking that they'd won the game and gone through to the quarterfinals, posting a defeat with job done as the caption. He had to come onto Twitter to apologize. Apparently one of his social media people had got confused and posted it without realizing that it'd gone out. It's a howler. It's an absolute stinker regardless.
Morning, guys. I feel like I need to come on and make an apology on behalf of my social media team. It's just been brought to my attention. I've literally just woke up that someone thought that we'd won 3-0 last night. Sloppy as it sounds, it's the truth.
Look, whoever the social media don is, if you need a job, I won't hire you. I'm sorry. If you can't get that right, this is the wrong domain for you as well. BT Sport pundit Jermaine Genius tweeted about a week ago, actually, talking about Spurs theoretically getting to a Europa League final and how it would annoy Arsenal fans. Hasn't really gone to plan, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, Arsenal managed to squeak through against Olympiacos. I think they now play Slavia Prague in the next round, whereas Spurs... Yeah, next question. This is a bit of a rant here, but Jermaine Genius does get on my nerves as a pundit a little bit. You just gotta be at least a little bit unbiased, okay? I manage it. Well, I don't, that's a lie. But this is a YouTube channel. It's allowed. Jermaine Genius, honestly, I'm half expecting him to go on to BT Sport next week and say they've still got a chance at winning the competition. Apparently, there's a lot of managers who've got a chance at getting the Spurs job. Diego Maradona being one of them. I don't know how I'm gonna tell Sky Bet this, but... Look, listen, it's very easy to panic in this day and age when it comes to a football team going on a bit of a lackluster run or getting embarrassed on a European stage or whatever the situation is. As I said earlier, Spurs have been in okay-ish form recently. It's not been brilliant, and before the wins against Burnley and Palace, they looked in slight freefall. But let's be real, all right? They're still 6 points off the top four with a game in hand on Chelsea. They're going to play this weekend. They might have already played by the time this video goes out. Dependent on how that game went, panic. But look, they're still in the top four fight. Realistically, the main aim is to get into the Champions League. They have to, really. José Mourinho as manager in a second season. They're in a Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, though. They basically charge rent if you want to win that competition, so that's unlikely to happen. But if he wins the club's first silverware in 13 years, then the Dinamo Zagreb thing is probably forgotten about slightly. Is it the end for Jose at Spurs? Probably not, really. And I very much doubt Daniel Levy's going to be on the phone to him tomorrow. But this is a usual catalyst of like the beginning of the end for a Jose Mourinho team. It only takes one hiccup like this and suddenly players are getting blamed, people are getting dropped, accusations are getting made, and people are getting sacked. And by people, I usually mean Mourinho and his backroom staff, just in case you didn't understand what I was alluding to there. But yeah, that's the type of event that can get the wheels moving when it comes to a breakdown in relations. Equally though, it's not like they're not in a cup final and they're not too far away from the top 4. He's got to try and turn around the mentality though of that side, because they're still bottle jobs ultimately. Like, as much as it's a bit of a meme and that, Spurs are massive bottle jobs and it's just in their DNA. Some of those players just don't perform on the big stage, and he's gonna have to get some kind of turnaround going. He's gonna have to try and win the Carabao Cup, because if they lose in the final there, then I think it's serious issues. Heung-min Son is obviously injured at the moment, so there's a bit of a reliance on Gareth Bale. It's not the end for Mourinho, but I can see this being the beginning of the end. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are Spurs on the ropes, or is this a bit too premature given they're in a Carabao Cup final and still relatively close to the top 4? If you enjoyed this video though, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.